All right. What is up, everybody? It is Newton here in the Raleigh office from Tidewater. I'm very excited today. We have a very special guest, somebody who has been in this industry for a while. Every time I watch his content, he is continuously just bringing value to the broker community. He is somebody that, is somebody that we highly respect. Not just for the company that he works for, but actually just him as a person based on his experience and really his mindset. And when we're looking to bring on guests to our podcast, that is our goal. We want to bring on somebody that is going to bring value to you to help you grow your business or avoid obstacles. So without further ado, you may or may not have seen him before, but I am going to bring Mike Gattorna on from Medico. What's up, man? How's it going?
I'm going to take that recording you just did and show it to my wife and tell her, look, people do like me. See, I told you. But she doesn't believe
awesome.
me.
That's
She's
awesome.
also got bad taste in men, so you can't argue with her. But yeah,
That's
no, thank
great.
you for having me on. It's truly a pleasure to be here.
Gosh, it is great to have you. I've been following you for a while. I know you've been doing a lot of traveling recently, spreading the word
Mhm.
about Medico and everything great that you guys are doing. So, man, I'll tell you what, Mike, just give us a quick background about your experience in this industry and just what you've seen. Tell us your story.
Yeah, so I 1,000 years ago got my insurance license, which it was in 2003, which feels like 1,000 years ago. Did individual life and health, switched on over. I worked with a big carrier. I won't tell you their name, but it rhymes with Humana. So started with them. Did that for a couple of years. Went independent. Started training on the side, and all of a sudden I was selling and training, and all of a sudden it started switching.
Mm,
So started doing my training. Worked with a FMO for 8 years doing training, and then somehow woke up one morning with a Medico shirt on and said, "I guess I'm doing this now." So yeah,
yeah,
here I am doing Medico.
that's fantastic, man. So, how long have you been with Medico?
About a year and a half now. So I started.
Great.
December was my year, so a year and 4 or 5 months, give or take. I knew of Medico though for years prior, and that was one of the reasons I joined them because they're a smaller company, and I
Mm,
like that because when you work with a large carrier, which is great. I mean, but it's always harder to turn a big ship as opposed to a smaller one. So we're a little
yeah.
more. We can move a little quicker in the field.
That's awesome, man. And folks, for those that are listening in today, if you want to comment, if you've had a great experience with Medico, drop it in the comments as you'll see scrolling across our screen as we go through just this quick podcast with Mike. If you're interested in coming on board with Medico, you can shoot me an email, you can shoot me a text message, and our team will be in touch. But Mike, we have had a great experience with you all. And our broker partners have had a great experience, and I think it's for a multitude of reasons. One of which is, when a broker onboards with you guys, which, for the record, the onboarding process is very easy. But when a broker comes on board, they get they get a variety of products that they can sell: Medicare
Mhm.
supplement, cancer insurance, hospital indemnity. So, tell us a little bit about that. Tell us about, maybe just a quick highlight of some of those products and what a broker can expect when they onboard with you guys.
Yeah, so we do. I mean, we're very big on the onboarding process. As you said, we have new agents, webinars every month. I know Courtney on our team, there's four of us on we call it distribution team. Courtney sends out welcome emails to everyone. You have access to all of us. All four of us are available via text, phone, email. They're pretty simple products. I mean, it's MedSup, but we're more urban, suburban market focused on pricing as opposed to more rural market. We have a household indemnity with a guaranteed issue with including all our riders. They're all guaranteed issue as well in there. Our cancer product and then our dental product. So it's pretty easy products. Not a lot of mystery between them, which makes it easy to deal with and easy to explain to your clients and prospects because we don't overcomplicate the process for yourself or for your clients either.
Yeah. I love it, man. I got to tell you, we have had some great feedback on, and I've got a screen share here up so you can see a lot of things that Medico is offering, and something that we always like to highlight is the guaranteed issue period on the hospital indemnity. Uh,
Yeah.
that's a game changer, man. Because as you know, somebody that's been working in the senior market for a while, I mean, the older we get, our health declines, right? And that guaranteed issue, 64 to 67, is just something not a lot of people talk about. So what from the carrier standpoint, how has the success rate been with that product?
We have seen a huge spike in production, and it's
Awesome.
also, I think it's more relevant coming on the horizon with the scope of appointment rule, which doesn't really apply to us because we're MedSup, hospital indemnity, cancer, and dental. None of our products are truly affected by the scope, but we watch that knowing that if it affects the broker or the agent, we know it's going to affect us as well. So anything we could do to streamline that process and make it easier, like just a quick example, our latest update for MedSups was if there's been no changes to their medications in the past year, they could skip it on the MedSup app. They could just say,
Wow.
"Yeah, I took drugs. Nothing's changed." They go right to the next screen. So that has helped because we know it's a pain in the butt to take an app and spell out a 15-letter generic. Even
Mhm.
though it kind of still does it for you, it's still a nightmare. But with the 48-hour rule cutting back to the scope, it's so important for agents to maximize that appointment because now it takes more time, effort, and energy to get in front of those clients. At least it will in 2024. The fact that we could streamline the hospital indemnity experience and make it to where you don't have to go back or have a subsequent appointment, do it all right there. It's on the scope, and it's where no health questions if they're under 67 or under 68, I should say. It's just going to be that much easier for everyone in the field.
That's awesome. And,
Because
talking
yeah,
about easier.
the SOA is an SOB. Let's face it. It
Yeah,
is kind of a pain in
exactly.
the butt.
It's exactly right. And you know what? It's really cool, because brokers typically don't get a lot of exposure to carrier reps because, it's our role as the FMO to support the broker, right? Because the carrier
Mhm.
wants to support the insured, right? So I think that, putting a face with the name with Medico, and that's why I want to thank you for being on today, Mike, because there might be a lot of brokers out there that have never actually been exposed to a carrier rep, or maybe they live in an area where there's not a carrier rep. So a lot of the stuff that you just talked about, and it's super relatable, right? Like the brand new 2024 CMS regulations, right? And when I
Mhm.
hear you talk about like, hey, us as a carrier, a carrier that's insuring the individuals that you're speaking with, we understand some obstacles that you're going to be coming up with, and here are some solutions that we're providing. I love that, man. I absolutely love that because I think it's kind of an unspoken thing within this industry of how are carriers helping with all these obstacles that brokers are facing.
Yeah, and we're always looking for feedback from the field. So, if there's something you don't like about Medco or something you really like, let us know. And I can tell you, every carrier rep I know appreciates that because we take that
Yeah,
to our team. Because yeah, we from the mothership, i.e., the corporate office, they may think of a good idea and come to us, and we're like, that's not how agents really go through the appointment process, or that's not how they want to enroll their clients, and how can we streamline that and make it easier for you to do business? So, if good, bad, and different, let us know. You could let Mike know, and he could yell at me, or you could just let me know direct. Either way, because we hear it from FMOs all the time, but and there's some weight. And when we say it as carrier reps to our mothership, there's a little bit of weight. But when it's the person actually completing the app, they have the most weight and the most valuable opinion and insight we can get from
yeah.
anyone.
Yeah. And hey, folks, now that since we're talking about complementary products, for those of you that are still staying tuned and you're still on the video, Ronnie James, our training director, did a video presentation on exactly how he presents hospital indemnity plans to seniors. So if you're still watching this video, please feel free to email me, Mike at tidewatermg.com. I'll shoot that video over to you. So, Mike, question for you.
I'm pretty sure Ronnie's success is only because of that accent. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure that's
man,
it.
it's awesome.
Because I would listen to him read the phone book. It's a good accent.
It's pretty
So
solid. It's
yeah,
really solid. I love it, man. All right, so Mike, I would say the majority of our audience that listens to our podcast are working in the senior market. They're working in the Medicare market. Tell us why Medico, whatever product line you want to mention, tell us why a broker should consider Medico when they're sitting with Mr. and Mrs. Jones.
So I'll tell you. Obviously, I'm a medical rep, so a little biased, but yeah, for med subs, again, urban suburban market pricing, and we make the app easier because we're doing everything we can to expedite the process. I would say about 50 to 60% of our med sub apps are approved within 4 minutes because as soon as the app
Wow.
comes in, we scrub it and then we issue a hey, welcome to Medico. Here's your number. Another about 30% will go to underwriting. There's something in there that we want one of our underwriters to physically look at and maybe do some homework on. And the last 10%, I think I always joke about the agents roll the dice, see what happens. And those are instant declines. So the fact that it's such a quick process, because I know, especially coming off a Medicare Advantage plan or switching med subs, you want a pretty quick answer so you could tell your
Yeah.
clients the next step without having them, while you're there on the phone, in person, talking to them to make it easier, as opposed to having another follow-up appointment. And maybe they lost some of that luster since you last talked to them, like, I'll just stay where I'm at. I don't want to change.
Yeah.
Having that instantaneous decision and decision process really helps concrete the relationship between the agent and their client. The other side of it is with the hospital indemnity, the guaranteed issue. I've always told agents the 3 weak points in MA plans are the hospital copay, because that could add up real quick, the skilled nursing network, which is nothing you can really do about. And most people don't really have experience in skilled nursing until they do. Most people are like, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to worry about it. But the other real big side is cancer.
Yeah.
Because cancer is 80/20 in most Medicare Advantage plans. Our cancer rider is included in the guaranteed issue sphere of 64 to 67. And if they're not in
Awesome.
that, it's only a 12-month look back, where our standalone cancer plan is actually a 10-year look back. So we're looking back with the Hubble telescope. You're changing to us looking back with only binoculars. So we're literally looking back 12 months, and you could leave that appointment. They get their Medicare Advantage plan. They have zero out of pocket to go to the hospital, and if they get cancer, now they have a bucket of money that's going to be delivered to them tax free, that they could go to the Mayo Clinic. They could travel to get that treatment. They could still maintain a healthy lifestyle with maybe some at-home assistance while they're getting treatment for cancer, and not worrying about paying 20% every time they go get chemo or radiation or anything else.
That's great, man. And Mike, I'm going to come back to, because, a lot of the audience here is in the Medicare market, and coming back to something that we don't want to take for granted. And that is the speed in which you guys approve Medicare supplement policies. Because one of the things that we try to train our brokers on is, look, if you're writing a med sup, you have to write a carrier that's going to approve, the policy quickly, because you don't want that PDP to get, approved and the med sup doesn't, because then you're going to leave the client in a bad spot. And look, we'll just call it what it is. Not every carrier is processing and giving you a decision that quickly. That is a big deal for a lot of people. And to like what you said, it makes it to when you're sitting with that client, you get an instant decision. You don't have to come back in 3 or 4 days. Right.
Yeah,
So
because it's not
love that.
only it's not only the party, but I know when I was in the field, it's, hey, we took I got your application, I'll fax it in, we'll wait 5 days, get an approval or denial or something, and it's your client has 5 days to kind of settle back in their old policy. And then by the
Yeah.
time you call them back, you're like, hey, we got you approved. They're like, forget it. Now you got to cancel this. It's kind of like buying something in Amazon. When it's 11 o'clock at night and I can't sleep, I'm buying stuff all day long. But if I put it in my cart and wait, there's a lot of stuff that gets deleted. So same thing with insurance, unfortunately. So we're trying to make it to where that cart gets, pushed through and not, pushed over.
I love it, man. I love it. And you mentioned the cancer policies. For those tuning in, we actually just dropped a brand new video on how to cross-sell a cancer plan with a Medicare supplement client. It's an underserved market. And like Mike said, those expenses that come with a cancer plan, they're not being covered by a Medicare supplement. They're not. All that travel, going to these clinics, like, it's not covering it. And man, that guaranteed issue on y'all's hospital indemnity, the cancer rider, that that's a game changer. That I mean, that's awesome. That's really, really cool.
The
I love
question
that.
I've always asked is, other than your current insurance, what what financial means do you have to pay for a cancer diagnosis? Because it
Mhm.
takes the Med Sup, the Med Advantage, whatever they have, the group insurance is like, okay, if I get cancer, it's like, yeah, you're going to be on average 6,000 out of pocket, and that was according to the Journal of American Medical Association. Their oncology division did a study a couple of years ago. It was more like a handful of years ago now, but they said the average person on Medicare spent about between 5 and 6,000 out of pocket, regardless what insurance they had. And most people
Wow.
don't have $5,000 to 6,000 laying around to spend on medical treatments. Even if they do, nor do they want to.
Right.
So when you have that conversation with your clients and make them realize, oh, I'm going to be 5, 6 grand out of pocket, that's not good. I don't want that.
Right.
And then you could sell them a $5,000, $10,000 cancer plan. And when they get that check, oh, you have a cape on in their mind. You're a superhero at that point. And then they're going to tell all their friends, hey, you know what? I got cancer, but that sucks. But I'm paying for it. I'm going to wherever I'm going to get treatment. And friends are like, how are you affording that? It's like, oh, Mike sold me this plan
Yeah.
and you should call them. So it's a great way to
Yeah.
get referrals as well.
It is. And Mike, we for so long Tidewater, we did Medicare, man. Like that was our bread and butter, right?
Hmm.
And we had somebody bring it to our realization that we are leaving a lot on the table by not offering these complementary products, these cancer plans, these hospital indemnities. And we had somebody challenge us. They said, look, to be successful selling these complementary plans, you really have to do one thing. And we were like, what's the one thing? We were all like on the edge of
Yeah.
our seat. And he said, you just need to talk about it. You need to present it while you're in the appointment every time. And he said, look, you're going to have people that are not going to buy it. They're not interested, but you're going to have people that are, but you never know unless you ask. Right.
Right.
And I love what you just said about that, just creating that awareness, while you're in the appointment, because you never know. Right. You never know.
You do never know. It's you also, I think people, agents have to remember that their clients are used to having options. When you go get group insurance from whenever the
Mhm.
company retired from, it's not just here's your major medical. It's here's your major medical. Oh, do you want dental? Do you want accident
Yeah.
policy? Do you want cancer? Do you want life insurance? They're used to having a smorgasbord of options. When you go in there and just sell them a Med Sup and Part D plan or just an MA plan, that's almost foreign to them because they may assume, oh, that's all I need. All I need is that one policy because that's all you offered me. Even though when I worked, I had all these options. So when you start giving them options, you're not taking them out of the comfort zone. You're putting them back into it by giving them the ability to decide what's important to them. So I think a lot of agents have it backwards. And if you say, hey, you know what, just like your group insurance, you've got a lot of options in Medicare, they're going to be ready to hear, okay, what are my options? I'm ready to listen
Right.
and I'm ready to tell you what I do and don't want. And that's how the agents that are selling hostile indemnity do it that we see, as opposed to the ones that are scared to ask and are doing their clients a true disservice.
You're so right, and I got to tell you, man, kudos to y'all. I think one of the strongest value propositions that you guys have is when a broker's sitting with a client, and you can offer all of those products. So you don't have to put the
Mm-hmm.
cancer policy with Swamp Life of Georgia, the hospital indemnity with Swamp Life of North Carolina. You can the client can get an experience where they have all these layered policies with one carrier, right? Because
Yeah,
not a
and
lot
they
of the
can have the
complementary
hostile indemnity.
carriers. Yeah,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I
no,
get
because
excited sometimes.
no, man, I love it because a lot of the complementary carriers, they don't have the full suite of products that a senior might want. So I think that's a huge value prop that you guys offer to the community.
And it's also easier to do it the initial sitting, right? It's always hard to
Mhm.
come back, 2, 3 months later with another product because then a lot of people may think, oh, you're just trying to sell me more stuff. When you're at that initial appointment and you're limited by a scope, you need to maximize that scope. Rather than see it as an obstacle, you need to see it as an opportunity to do everything you need to do in that appointment that CMS allows you to, especially
Yeah,
like we talked about with that 48-hour rule coming up. There's no longer time to waste because
right.
it's going to take that much more time and effort to get in front of them. You need to have that much more time and effort educating them one at that one appointment, and you can have it a complete package wrapped up right then and there. And then you just tell them, go tell your friends that when they go to the hospital, they don't have to pay anything out of pocket if they have this extra hospital benefit.
That's right, man. That's right. It's exciting. It's so exciting. All right. So listen, folks, it is, we're going to be, this video is being live streamed. It's early May. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw a little contest out there. To anybody that partners with, to anybody that partners with Tidewater, we're going to give you a couple of weeks to onboard and all that stuff. So starting June 1st.
And Mike will come clean your house if you onboard, right? Is that what it is?
Yes. Mike's going to come down to North Carolina and clean your house.
Mike.
So we're going to do, that's funny. So we're going to do, hey, look, we're going to give you 30 days to onboard with Medico, right? And in the month of June, we are going to look at total production for the month of June. So in July, we will announce a winner to whoever our top producer is. We're going to have gift cards. We're going to have swag. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. So take advantage of this. We're just as excited as you are, as Mike is. We want to put some cool incentives around it. So we're going to throw that little incentive out there. So for the month of May, get your contracts in. We've got agency level. So if you've got hierarchy, we've been very blessed to be partners with Medico. They've taken very good care of us. So let's get you onboarded. Let's get you producing. Month of June, we're going to look at production. Month of July, we're going to announce a winner, and we're going to make sure that the prizes are awesome. So, Mike, before we jump out of here, man, any last things you want to leave for the audience?
No, I think what you're doing is great. Tidewater has always been one of the better FMOs in the market. They have I can tell you, I don't give empty compliments. If I didn't think anything of them, I'd just like, nope, I'm good. But Tidewater does have a phenomenal reputation. They're a great group of people there. The fact that you do all these additional trainings to help agents succeed where a lot of FMOs don't sets you apart light years ahead of your competition. And we're just happy to be partnered with you. So I can't wait to see you again, eat some Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's go get some production from Medico. Good folks over there. Great people, great products. So, Mike, thank you for joining today. I know you're busy.
Thank you.
Traveling, man. Great value. Folks, if you need to get a hold of Mike, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to connect you. Mike has always been a blessing for doing webinars. He does a ton of trainings online. So you will see his face more and more often as you partner with Medico. So Mike, thank you for everything you do. You're the man, dude.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Man, I'm just living in your shadow, my friend. I appreciate
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Well, folks, thank you so much. Hope you have a great day, and good luck on the competition. Thanks, Mike.